The real estate boss prepared a famous calligraphy and painting to bribe the leader, but he didn't know whether it was fake or not. It seemed pretty good. The calligraphy was fake. At first, Zhou Rong thought the other party deliberately said it was fake. He even asked the leader to take it home. After all, a fake isn't worth much. It really was a fake piece of calligraphy. I hung this fake calligraphy on my wall, and people laughed at me, saying I was crazy. Is it really fake? Don't say that. It's fake. Turns out Zhou Rong had given his assistant a budget of 500,000 yuan to buy the painting. Who would have thought the assistant spent only 5,000 yuan on a fake? Speaking of which, Zhou Rong really is a businessman. He immediately changed his tone. He said he knew nothing about this kind of thing and just wanted to learn from the leader. But the leader saw right through him. The old man wasn't really interested in the calligraphy. You guys stopped me halfway, just to ask whether this calligraphy was real or fake. Zhou Rong had no choice but to reveal his true purpose. They were actually trying to bid for a plot of land. I knew it. I hate businessmen like you the most. You think you're so smart, playing all sorts of tricks. Let me tell you, someone from our side, it'll eat this kind of stuff. But Zhou Rong isn't the only one eyeing this leader. There are two other little crooks, too. They came to Sanjiankou this time specifically to kidnap a corrupt official. Because even if the corrupt official gets kidnapped, he wouldn't dare call the police. So why did they choose a leader who rides a bicycle? He can't even afford an electric bike. This life is just too pathetic. Let me tell you, don't be fooled by his broken-down bike. This fat guy is the director of the Eastern New City Management Committee. Eastern New City claims to recreate Triangle Country. This fat guy's rank is on par with the Sanjiankou village chief. That's why they say a thug isn't scary. What's scary is a thug with culture. The older brother among the two crooks thinks the problem lies precisely with this bicycle. A leader who can sit on equal footing with the mayor should have an exclusive car. That's totally normal. Then why does he still ride a bicycle? And an old, broken one at that. Why doesn't he change his ways? He's just used to it. The old ones don't want to change. You're like me. I've been wearing these underwear for 5 years. Haven't I changed them yet? I'm still wearing them, aren't I? Compensate me for the underwear. Mao Zedong believed that the reason a leader could get to this point was only one, to pretend to be clean and upright. Ordinary corrupt officials don't need to put on such a show. Take a look since 10 years ago until last month. Whenever he's interviewed, what does he keep emphasizing? I don't want to be an official. I'm a writer. If even his grandson pretends to be like this, how much money must he have stolen? Does that make sense? No way. It makes sense. Let's nail him. After finishing up, these two little crooks started scouting the area. But the security level in the residential complex where this leader lives is extremely high. Strangers like them simply can't get in. So they went to the building across the street to set up their observation post. They wanted to see which building this leader lived in, then wait for him to leave before breaking into his home. And the first thing this leader did when he got home was to draw the curtains. Because although he appeared outwardly to be honest and upright, his house was actually full of antiques, a bed made of Wangwali wood. He even rubs oil on himself every day after work. Two petty thieves were staking out the place, and they stayed there until late at night. Just then, they saw this leader coming downstairs to take a call. The caller was notifying him of his transfer, because the leader had always told outsiders that he didn't like being an official. He just loved doing some literary creation. The higher-ups, considering his advanced age, wanted to transfer him to a literary post. I can't say it anymore. No, Director Huang. I could really keep going for another 2 years. I've been fighting for you all along. This time, I finally got it through. Why are you making things so difficult for yourself? Huang Ju, if he really gets transferred, he won't be happy about it. What's he doing? It seems like he's into the 5 elements and 4. He actually cares a lot about health preservation. The two petty thieves kept staking out the place, and they stayed there until the next morning. In the morning, the leader was lying at home when he got a call. The call came from the TV station. Originally, this leader had planned to organize a big poetry reading event. Now the TV station is telling him to postpone it. Clearly, word has gotten out that he's about to be transferred. I'm still here, you know? You can't treat me like this. The leader just decided to go all out before the transfer, so he went out. And who he was looking for was Zhou Rong. Unexpectedly, as soon as he arrived, he saw his poetry collection trampled underfoot. It turned out that after their last parting, Zhou Rong had thought of finding a new way to please the leader. His assistant gave him an idea. That was for Zhou Rong to bring the leader's published poetry collection to him for an autograph. But since this poetry collection wasn't sold anywhere, the assistant made a copy based on one from the library. Is this considered piracy? Is it? You want me to take a pirated book to get the author's signature? How am I supposed to build relationships with people? Unexpectedly, just as Zhou Rong had left the driver behind, the leader showed up right after, and he happened to step on the driver's foot. Even more awkward, after picking up the book, the leader found that its quality was better than what had published before, way better than mine. Can you give it to me? Now Zhou Rong was in a real pickle. He quickly explained that this was just a sample. Had originally planned to make a gilded edition to present to the leader. And the reason this poetry collection was on the floor was because Head been lying down reading it. Of course, the leader knew he was bragging, but this time, he wasn't talking about something minor. I want to talk to you about how hard you've been working. You just want to chat with me? Of course, Zhou Rong had no reason not to agree. But unexpectedly, the leader asked to meet at his home. Meanwhile, two little thieves took advantage of the leader's absence and sneaked in. But when they saw the decoration inside the house, the thief was speechless. Are you looking for a big-time corrupt official or a poor household? The more corrupt an official is, the more he loves to disguise himself. The two even knew to put plastic bags over their shoes and wear gloves afterward. They tried their best not to leave any traces here. Mao Zedong lifted the bamboo curtain, but he found that everything on top was all broken and worn out. It didn't look valuable at all. In his eyes, anything valuable had to look shiny and new. Just like when he robbed the gold shop before and stole the God of Wealth statue. The thief found a clay sculpture in one of the cabinets. It also looked pretty broken. Neil Zhang, a clean official. This fat guy must be a clean official. He searched the whole house and only found a few hundred yuan in the shoe cabinet. The few hundred yuan on the shoe cabinet had just been pocketed by the two rascals. The two were still dazed when they suddenly heard the boss voice outside. Scared out of their wits, the two quickly made a run for it. But unexpectedly, right as they stepped outside, they saw the security guard practicing drills. That's when they had no choice but to hide under the window. It was precisely this hiding that turned their worldview upside down. After Zhou Rong entered the house, he saw how simple the decoration was. He also thought this boss was an honest official, and the little assistant, wanting to make a good impression on the boss, actually pulled out a VIP card from a club, inviting the boss to go enjoy some tea whenever he had time. The girls, they were really good at tea ceremony. It was just so awkward. Seriously, it was like opening the door to embarrassment. It was totally embarrassing. Unexpectedly, the boss started showing off his tea set in front of everyone. Although Zhou Rong didn't recognize these things, because he was trying to butter up the boss, he gave plenty of emotional value, making the boss mistakenly think he was someone who knew good stuff. So he just stopped pretending and proactively brought up the land issue, because that plot of land would be developed into an industrial park. There would be lots of government subsidies involved. You could say whoever got it would make a killing. Seeing that the boss was taking the initiative to bring up the topic, Zhou Rong relaxed and said, "As long as I can take over this project, I could then pay a consulting fee to the firm the boss recommended. Are you trying to bribe me with money?" Suddenly, the boss asked Zhou Rong to come with him and pointed to the calligraphy on the wall. Where does the clear stream come from? Only from the living water of the source. When Zhou Rong saw these two lines of poetry, he misunderstood them. He thought the boss was warning him that this was Yu Ran's real work. Your calligraphy is too fake. Then the boss took him to see his own collection. A genuine Yuan blue and white porcelain double-eared tripod cauldron. The real Tang Sanzang. Both of you sit on these two armchairs. They're real Hainan Wangwali wood. The boss words were heard clearly by the two rascals outside the wall. Back at his seat, Zhou Rong started flattering the boss. "Teacher, you're a cultured person. Your level is completely different. People like us who do business only know how to pile on money." The two rascals heard pile on the money. Two of them. And this boss doesn't love money at all. His hobby is collecting. All those things he showed Zhou Rong earlier were gifts from others. He's not just a corrupt official. He's a huge corrupt official. What I'd most like to collect is a set of chime bells. This was basically a direct invitation for Zhou Rong to give him chime bells. Zhou Rong immediately understood what was going on, and after the two rascals slipped out, they decided to switch their target to Zhou Long, because antiques are harder to sell. Cash is just more straightforward. Rongqing Group, I've got this one locked down. Next, what kind of sparks will fly between Joe Rome and the two rascals? Hey Race, where we say goodbye. See you in the next episode.